Hello. Hi, good evening, everyone. Namaste from India. I know the World Cup is on, but we're taking a little break to be in conversation with acclaimed Bharatanatyam artist Radhika Shurajit, who's gearing up to present K3 this weekend. And in our conversation with her, we're going to be discussing all about the production and why all of us need to really set aside time to go watch this amazing work. Thank you. Hi, Madhav. Um, I think Radhika ji has sent me a request to join. Okay, you request. Your request, so I think you should be able to join the conversation now. Hello, hi Arpita. Hi,
Hi, Akila.
how are you?
Fine, doing good. Bit excited and little nervous too.
I can imagine. But I was just thinking today as I was driving back home from work
Mhm.
that for somebody like you who's created so many ensemble productions and has premiered so many large scale productions. Do you have butterflies in your stomach each time?
Yes, it is like a labor pain. Every time I do a production, and that has to be there, I think. Otherwise, it's taken too lightly. Only not fear. The butterfly is not for because of fear, but everything should go on as planned. And yeah, I know God is there to take care. We have done our work, and it's up to Him to see the show through. I
Absolutely.
strongly believe in that.
Radhika ji, the thing about labor pain, you mentioned that word. They say that in labor pain, like women tend to often after the delivery, they forget all the pain that they went through and they decide to have many more children. Ade Madhuri, you've gone on and created
Yeah,
work.
it's the same. It is the same, where all this excitement, and sometimes I wish, wow, all this, let it get over. I need to relax. But then once it's done, I miss it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we titled this conversation. I don't know if you had a chance to look at. We titled this conversation "Like a Prayer,"
Like a
and
prayer, yes.
in some sense, this is a really pun intended because one is the fact that K3 Kadamba Kathirvela is really like a prayer. It's like a popular hymn that has been for the first time being adapted on stage
Yes.
in Natyam format. That's one. But also, really, we want to talk about how for you dance has really been like a prayer. You've been like for so many decades been committed to this art form. So first, Radhika, let's really talk about when and how this K3 happened, and when did you decide to actually put this idea into actual, this thought into action?
Okay, the idea came during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, every day I keep listening to Kandha Kavacham,
Mm.
and as you know, it has positive vibes to protect
Mm.
one against diseases, against evil spirits, and to bestow health, wealth, prosperity, and all that you wish for. The
Right.
Kavacham has an aura of that. And every
Mm.
day I listen to it as I do my walking.
Mm.
But during the pandemic, when I
Mm.
heard that so many people dying across the world, and my very dear ones who left the earth too soon because of this COVID, and COVID did not have a medicine. Just 2 weeks of you stay alone, and then there wasn't any particular medicine for COVID. It was just paracetamols, and you would feel weak, and after 2 weeks. But then I lost a lot of my students' parents, so that made me think, and I said this. I am written by Baladevaraya Swamigal, has this positive vibe, and why not you make it into a Natyam format, and which will benefit a lot of people. And so it was done with an intention of world peace, world health. So whoever listens to it, and I wanted the same feel of the Kandha Kavacham, so I did not bother to change the tune. when we went in for the recording, it was the original track, just like that. I asked my singer, Radha Badri, to sing the original way Sulamangalam sisters sang it. That's the most popular. And
Most
they sang
popular
it
one,
for,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
So we recorded it. We digitally recorded K3. And very surprisingly, I got the recording done somewhere in July, August. But no idea of how I would go about it, Rakila. I'm so confused because
Correct.
their mantrams, which says
Exactly.
protect my eyes, protect my ears, protect my hand. It's all that. It doesn't have scope for natya or
The linear,
surya,
yeah.
nothing. So how am I going to do it? Yes, I want to do it. That's fine. But how are you going to do it through natyam? Make it um, aesthetically beautiful, appealing. You'll also have to engage the audience and not make it just like the statements. And how am I going to do it? Very surprisingly, till September, nothing came to my mind. I had the audio in my hand recorded, but nothing came to my mind, and sleepless nights as how this Kavacham is going to work out. Then I thought, okay, the best way is to totally surrender to Muruga. So then I did it and he made it. So I won't call it my work. Through me, I was an instrument. He made his own kavacham. So it is his work, his doing completely. Because I would not have thought of these things with my capacity and all that. So because it was so vague and so difficult to choreograph to. So make it interesting.
Yeah, yeah,
See,
yeah.
I am a person for whom art is for people. So I, it's no point in doing something where I appeal only to the connoisseurs and rasikas and leave out the general public. It should not be. For me, art, it has to reach everybody. So to make it reach without losing classicism and yet at the same time giving the content of the Kavacham, yes, that was my challenge. In the whole Kandha Kavacham, that was the challenge.
Ma'am, would you say that this is one of your most, amongst your most challenging productions? Simply because, it doesn't have a sort of
Yeah,
a
you
story.
could call that because all the other productions, like like I also work with the celluloid numbers from the
Yeah.
celluloid numbers. I have translated them into Bharatnatyam. Yeah, even that was challenging in a different way. But this had because there I had chosen songs which had scope for Natya, which was similar to Bharatnatyam, yeah, songs and content. But this content, yeah, threw big challenges to me. And I would say yes. Not in technical aspect of Nritta or Jatis or anything, but overall how you're going to reach the concept. So yeah,
Okay.
I could say it is very challenging. One of my
Right.
challenges.
When did you actually put pen to paper? You told me that you had this idea in the years of the pandemic, but when did you actually put pen to paper? And also, I'm curious a little bit about your choreographic process. Like, you are a full-time teacher, you are a full-time choreographer. I just want to know, when do you find moments of stillness and silence to really think about how this idea is going to actually pan out?
No, I really can't plan like that, Akila. I can't sit down and think of ideas. Ideas just pop up when I'm cooking or taking care of my granddaughter, or I'm in the middle of something, some idea would pop up. Or when I'm walking or in my sleep. I always get ideas in my sleep. I wake up and note it down, or I'm going through it many times. I wake up, I go through it 10 times to make sure it's not forgotten because I don't want to get up. So, and very surprisingly, all my choreography is not done on dancers. It is done on pen and paper. Because when my master choreographed, we were all there standing in front of him and he would choreograph at his pace. So one day he would finish a lot of creative ideas. The other day he may just do a couple of things. But I don't have that luxury. Frankly, these days, students are so busy, busier than the teachers. So they don't find time to accommodate and come. And so for me to keep them all standing there and then to start thinking of choreography, I may not
Yes.
even think. So I have learned to work choreography on a paper. All my productions, Akila, all my productions are done on
Fantastic.
paper. So I will do
Right.
one dancer, two dancer, mark them as 1, 2, 3, 4. One moves here, 4 moves there. Of course, when I'm actually executing it, I get confused also. Why is one running into this position, two going there? But then once the paperwork is done, I have to just translate it to the dancers. Now, but the moment the paperwork is done, the entire vision of my choreography is there in my mind. I have to just translate it. It's not like I work with the students. But Kandha Shashti, a few portions of it, I did it on my students. Otherwise, I normally do. The Tilana that I'm doing, the Tripugal, all that, I did it on paper, and sometimes one or two dancers throwing in some ideas. I write it down. I write down everything. It has been a group team effort. And for students, what was more challenging was it didn't have a cohesive line of thought like a
Yeah,
story.
absolutely.
So,
Correct.
but I told them they had to get the Kandha Shashti by heart. If you
Okay.
go deep into it, you will know when you start saying Ide Kaka, Ade Kakana, they would start with Talai, eyebrow, eye, nostrils, lips, teeth. Idida Palle, Kaluthu, my shoulders, my ribs, everything it talks about my ribs, my stomach, my belly button, my thighs, my limbs. Each one has says protected, protected, protected. This was all Kavacham has. But the vibrations, like you do puja at home, they say Om, Om, everything, Om, Om, Vasva, all those have positive vibrations. Like that, Kandha has vibrations which will
Absolutely.
cure one of illness. But my students had to buy heart the Kandha. Otherwise, they would get so
Yeah.
confused. And I
Yeah.
had planned the choreography with lot of entries, exits, props. So it has to be, they have to be sure of where they have to go and what they have to do. So it was challenging for the girls too. More challenging than other items that I've done.
Right. Akka, before I move on, I want to ask you an important question. But before that, what is the duration of the work, number one?
Yeah.
And what is the ensemble like? How large is the ensemble, the cast?
About 20 dancers.
Mm-hmm.
6 of them are my younger students. Then I have professionally trained dancers, about 12 of them, 12 to
Okay.
13 of them, and then 2 professionally acclaimed male dancers, Madhav and
Madhav, yeah.
Shivadas, who will do Muruga and Surapadma. Also, here I would like to say that costume drama, Natya, is not my cup of tea. I never do. But there are people who excel in it. But
Correct.
I never liked costume drama. But I like to watch it, but I can't do
Correct.
it.
Yeah, yeah. That's not
But
your
here
forte.
I
Yeah.
had taken a back seat and I have done not exactly the whole production, but I have introduced characters because the choreography demanded it. It's you cannot call it a full length costume Natya production. No. But yes, Muruga will look like Muruga, not
Right. Okay.
Ekaharya Dasyangam, not in a
Ah.
yeah, costume. Yeah,
Okay.
because only then the aura and the dignity and
Yeah.
divinity of Muruga will reach. Only for
That's
that.
what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Right.
Okay.
You
Okay.
can't be just, you can be dressed in a normal attire, Bharatanatyam attire, and you can do any character. But in a production like this, I think it demanded Muruga and Surapadma to be dressed up in their characters. Yeah.
Got it. And
The whole
what's the duration of the
production is
production?
about to exactly time it with my announcements. Normally, I do my announcements. Akira. But this time I had asked, I wanted, because Muruga is a Tamil god, I wanted Nalla Sen Tamil announcement. So I had given my thoughts to him and he has written it so beautifully. Aru Sundararaman has done the voicing and we have recorded the announcements too. So
Also.
I don't
Okay.
want a lag in the production. I
Right.
just talk about why I'm doing this production. And then over to the production, it is my running time is 77 minutes. That's all.
Fantastic.
At 1 hour, 10 minutes only.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
Actually, that was my
because
next
people
question.
these days, they don't have time to sit and watch long productions.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, as somebody who sort of has been part of a slightly older generation, but who's also sort of traversing, working with younger people, with lesser time, with an audience that's distracted. And also you've been a pioneer in really taking Bharatanatyam to the masses, really making Bharatanatyam accessible, right? Through all the work that you've been doing, Takadimita, everything that. I just want to ask you a little bit about, how have you, as a guru, really also changed according to the changing times?
Well, I have always been someone who'd question. A lot of questions I used to, even when I was learning with the Dhananjayans, every time I would come up with a question, any Natekala conference, I'm there popping out questions when I grew up because I wanted to know more about it. And children, I've always felt very young, Akila. I may be in 60s, but I feel very young. So because I'm all the time teaching kids much younger, and it's very different relationship now between the guru and the disciple.
Mm.
Okay, they
That
are
has
friends.
changed.
They would discuss something, or they say, "No, Akka, it's not nice. I don't like the color." They may say that. Even when I chose the costume, they said, "Akka, yes, it's nice, but can we look at some other color?" and things like that. They're open. They're like friends. So I have adapted myself very beautifully. I can mingle with it at any time in my life. I used to mingle with all group, older people, younger people. So it wasn't difficult for me. Now I didn't have to make a very conscious effort. Plus my international workshops, where you go, then the whole thought process and everything is different there.
Correct.
There they come only once, or they are all geared up only for the workshop. So keep them interested throughout the workshop to learn the item. Everywhere it changes. So you must be
Right.
very open to these things. Yeah.
Right. I mean, seriously, this work definitely seems very much like pushing the envelope. I mean, I wish the production and you the very best, Taka. But what I want to ask you is, have you already started thinking about your next production?
No. See, I wanted to tell you this. It's not that I have to do a production every year, Prakila.
Right.
I'm doing this
Yeah.
after 3 years. I don't feel compelled to do, yes, this year, what do I do for the season? Next year, what do I do for the season? No, I don't. If I feel like doing it, I do it. And also, it's a lot of money, Akila. And I come
No,
from a middle
absolutely.
income group. So to pump in that much of money, I mean, I may have ideas, but to actually get them executed, it all takes time and money, a lot of money. So money becomes somewhere a kind of a hurdle for me. And also, I'm not the one who has to say, okay, I have to do the next one. I have to do the next one. No. If something comes in my mind, I like to do it. And I should thank you, Akila, for the lovely invitations and posters that you have designed. Everyone is talking about it, how beautiful it is.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you so much, Radhika. Thank you. And you could probably just finally wrap with just telling people when the production is premiering. Thrice School of Bharatanatyam presents this grand premiere. You may just want to tell people where, when, etc., so that we can sign off on that note.
Okay, this premiere of K3, Kandha, Kadamba, Kathirvela will be premiered on November 18th. It is Kandha Shashti Day. So I planned it to happen on a Kandha Shashti Day, and I was lucky that it happened to be a weekend. It's a Saturday, November 18th at 6:30 at Narada Gana Sabha. Admission to the show is free. So please come in large numbers to listen and see Kavacham, and that will do you good. I can assure you that. And Muruga also is my Kuladevam, Tiruchendur Muruga. So Shashti began on 13th November, and I made a special Abhishega, and then I have got Prasadam from Tiruchendur for all the audience. So
Oh,
that Tiruchendur Vibhuti has the quality to cure you of all diseases. So I made sure that it was packed on the 15th and it came. It's packed on 14th and it has arrived now. So
okay.
everybody who comes to the show will get the prasadam from Tiruchendur.
Fantastic. So it's not without reason that we titled this conversation like a prayer. We're almost ending on that note. Just one last question, because you use the word kavacham. I remember many years ago when I talked to Vali Akka about her mother. She talked to me about how her mother was like a kavacham for her. But now that you use that word kavacham, would you say that like the whole, your entire journey with dance, has dance been that sort of an
Yes.
anchor for you in that sense?
Yes, yes, it has been a kavacham through the ups and downs that life threw at me. And yes, my mother was a kavacham. She was protecting me. After my mother left this earth, then I felt a void. And Akila, I can even confess that I went through serious, severe depressions. And it was my faith in God and belief in God and my spirituality that brought me back to dancing. And dancing has always been there, and for medical reasons I had to quit dancing, stop performing. Not that I had to give up dancing, but I had to quit performing on stage, which was a big blow. I did have a depression when doctor said you can't dance anymore because of your knees. So that I did get depressed, but then I thought God made me for something else, and that's when I started my show Takadimita. I said, if I don't dance, I'll make a lot of thousands of people dance. I'll
Wow.
give them the limelight. So that show, we crossed 500 episodes, and we gave platform to nearly 10,750 young dancers. And
Wow.
all the gurus all over the world were part of it, part of the journey, either as judges or resource people or something. So it linked people. So
That's
I'm happy,
fantastic.
content now. I don't, people say, are you not dancing? Well, I would say I'm dancing every day in my mind. Every day, every moment I'm dancing.
That's absolutely true. Thank you also for being so honest, so vulnerable, and trusting us. This space, really, really means a lot for you to, share this with us, because I'm sure a lot of people are dealing with challenges like these, and to actually, also the conference this year, Natikala conference, is Trance in Dance. And I think what you talked about really resonated with me, that you couldn't dance, but you decided to like make other people dance. So I think really going beyond is really fantastic. Thank you for
No,
sharing that story with
I
us.
get equal joy, Akila,
Yeah.
watching the youngsters perform or
Yeah.
anything. And when my idea is translated through my students, I feel very happy. Somewhere I know that, well, I could maybe do that little one better, but I know they are youngsters and they're working towards it. So I'm
No.
happy. My idea coming through my students, I'm very happy. I'm
No,
very
I just want
content,
to say,
happy.
no, absolutely. I just want to say that your working with you has been fantastic, and that your energy is really, really early in the morning is totally infectious. I mean, I wish you the very best, and I do hope that you can pass on some of your energy to all of us.
Oh,
Uh,
thank you. That's a
thank you
compliment.
so
Yeah,
much.
thank you.
See you on November 18th, and wishing the production, the entire ensemble, everybody who was here and everybody who will watch it, to please come and encourage this amazing production. All are welcome to this show, and wishing the entire ensemble the very best. Thank you, Akka.
Thank you,
See you.
Akila. Vetrivel
Bye.
Muruganuku Arohara. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.